Hello everybody. I wanted to take a few minutes to show you some modifications I made to my Stack-On gun safe. I decided several weeks ago I wanted to display my pistols and long guns, and not just have them in the safe in gun boxes and gun bags, but I wanted to put them on display. So I added some lights, modified the shelves, and here's what I have. I've added the daylight white LED strip lights around the inside of the safe. I've also added one set of strip lights on the bottom of that shelf to help get rid of some of the shadows back there among the long guns. And I've also added one set of strip lights along the top of the safe, and those shine straight down to help illuminate the front. To control them, I've added a magnetic door switch that will activate the lights when the door is opened and shut them off when the door is closed. And I put all the components back here in the bottom left corner of the safe. I have my transformer, I have my dimmer there in the back right corner, and I've connected all of those through the lever lock nuts, those three gray boxes with the orange tabs, and I'm able to make all my electrical connections at those small junction boxes, and I'm able to cut the cord to the right length so I don't have a bunch of excess cord coiled up back there just taking up space. If I ever want to add dry rod, I can simply install the dry rod, run the cord, and then cut it to length also and make the connections under those lever nuts. I made a three-sided box to cover that. I'll get that installed and show you what that looks like. For now, I'll take a minute to look at some of the long guns I have over there. I'll get that box installed, and I'll be back in just a minute. We'll take a little walkthrough of the gun safe, the pistols I have, and of the shelf modifications I've made. There we go. I've got the three-sided box installed. I've wrapped it in safe fabric. I've sprayed that whole area back there under the box itself, and the walls of the safe with a fire retardant. I'm always a little bit leery of installing electrical components on fabric, but I'm very comfortable with the installation. Came out nice and neat, and it's safe. I've got those two shelves to put in real quick. We'll get those put in, and we'll do a little walk around. The one shelf is the factory shelf. I did make one additional shelf and lined it with fabric. I purchased all of the fabric and all of the lighting components through Amazon. The lowest shelf here, I have my Uberti 1890 Outlaw chambered in .45 Colt. You notice I have mirrors behind there, two purposes. Gives you a nice reflection of the back side of the pistol, and behind the mirrors I have about 500 rounds of Colt ammunition. I decided there's no need to look at boxes of ammunition. I wanted to look at the pistols on display. I purchased those mirrors at Menards. They're the 4x6 beveled glass mirrors. I've simply laid them out and taped the back together with some clear shipping tape, stood them up on edge, and kind of curved them around in the corner to give a nice look to the pistols. Next shelf up, I have my Ruger GP100 chambered in .357 Magnum. I've added the grip off the Ruger Match Champion. I ordered that grip through Ruger.com. It came with a rubber grip that was nice, but not quite as nice. The wood grip has a great feel, fits my hand better, and looks a lot nicer than the rubber grip. Again, the mirrors behind it with about 500 rounds of .357 Magnum and .38 Special behind that. The next shelf up I've notched. That area actually had barrel notches in it for the long guns. I didn't want to look at those. I cut those out, and it gives me a better view of that .357 revolver. On that shelf I have my 9mm pistols, the Beretta 92 FS, the Smith & Wesson Shield, and the Ruger 9E. The 9E is the economy version of the SR9. That 9E is a great pistol, accurate out of the box, very reliable, and a great pistol for the price. If you're looking for a good full-size 9mm at a decent price, I'd recommend the Ruger 9E. You might also notice I have my pistols on acrylic pins. The gun manager out at Shields was nice enough to give me half a dozen of those pins so I could display my pistols at an angle. Also behind that, I've got this three-sided box that just sits back there. It's open on the bottom. The reason for that is that Winchester box sticks up through the shelf. And I didn't want to look at the top of that Winchester box, so I made this other box and lined it just to hide that. The top shelf, I've notched it back 4 inches. And that allows me just to have a better view of those 9mm pistols without having to duck. On the top shelf I have some ammunition. I'll slide that back here in a bit. Get that a little bit more out of the way. Overall, I'm very happy with the looks of the gun safe. I'm doing just what I want to do. I'm displaying my guns. Also, I've turned the long guns at a bit of an angle, so you get a better side profile. If you have room in your safe and you want to get a better look at the long guns, turn them just a bit. It makes a big difference. I've taken all of the things out of the safe that I don't need, the holsters, some of the miscellaneous things you always end up with when you have pistols and long guns, and I've just kept things in the safe that I need to store there, pistols and ammunition. Overall, I'm happy with the lights, daylight bright whites from Amazon, and I'm happy with the modifications I made. I may do a few more things. I like to put the safe up on a platform, to elevate the safe about 12 to 16 inches so I'd have more shelves at eye level. But we'll see about that. Thanks for watching the video. We'll talk to you all